My enemy of progress is David Lammy.
Boo.
Flog him! Flog him! Flog him!
Shame.
Absolutely. So after 19 months of genocide in Palestine, he now wants to come forward and act like he knew this has been wrong the whole time because they've been denying them food for the last 11 weeks. So here he's joined forces with Canada, France.
This weekend, the Israeli Defense Force started a new extensive ground operation throughout Gaza, Operation Gideon's Chariot. 5 Israeli divisions are now operating there. Prime Minister Netanyahu says that they're going to take control of the Strip, letting only minimal amounts of food reach Gazans. Madam Deputy Speaker, I quote Mr. Netanyahu. He says, just enough to prevent hunger. Fewer than 10 trucks entered Gaza yesterday. The UN and the World Health Organization have issued stark warnings of the threat of starvation hanging over hundreds of thousands of civilians. Madam Deputy Speaker, this is abominable. Madam Deputy Speaker, we are now entering a dark new phase in this conflict. Netanyahu's government is planning to drive Gazans from their homes into a corner of the Strip to the south and permit them a fraction of the aid that they need. Yesterday, Minister Smodrik even spoke of Israeli forces cleansing Gaza, destroying what's left of residents, Palestinians, being relocated, he said, to third countries. We must call this what it is. It is extremism. It is dangerous. It is repellent. It is monstrous, and I condemn it in the strongest possible terms.
And basically they're saying they're going to stop trade conversations with Israel until food enters Palestine. Mm-hmm. He was in not question time, but in Parliament. But it wasn't Prime Minister because it was him and Priti Patel going back and forth. Oh, God, and he had the cheek to say to Priti Patel, you should just admit they've done wrong. Why can't you say it? And I'm like, hold on, brother. You ain't been saying shit. In fact, didn't you get on a plane that was paid for by us and go there and lord it up and do all this stuff and invite these people here? And now all of a sudden, because you realise that people are dying from starvation, man-made starvation, you're now thinking, oh, the tide is turning. Mm-hmm. Maybe I need to act differently.
Yeah.
Don't act like you ain't been involved in this thing. And why are you only doing you're stopping negotiation? Like you should be stopping conversation, stopping selling arms. You should be stopping all of those things. There should be sanctions. So you're in the bin because you're not convincing us. I'm not convinced by you. You're a punk and a dirty one at that. Dirty punk. He's a dirty punk.
See, that's interesting because I didn't know the previous works. So me seeing this, I'm like, yeah, you go.
No. No.
You know what? That's how the media has been.
They have
like, this has come from nowhere. It's been very interesting, people being like, oh my God, David Lammy, he's stepping up to the plate. And it's like, bro, it wasn't that long ago. He was doing all the bits. He was begging favour with them. He was praising them. He was saying that it's okay what they're doing. Yep. They are legitimate in this war against Hamas. Now you want to start being like, it's heinous. This is a crime.
It's abhorrent.
He was using words.
He was using words.
Because I kind of was like, all right, who is David Lammy? Is he navigating? Is he trying to ting? Or is it now, is he just a turncoat? Because I was just trying to understand, like, what he was saying. It sounded quite, as you said, quite forceful, quite, okay, we're going to do this now. And I wondered, you could welcome onto the chair, David, to know if he was like playing along to finally get his moment to say, no, this is what's happening and now he's stepping to the front, or is he still being puppeted?
I think he's trying to avoid jail.
This is the same. I think he's trying to avoid jail. This is the same man, who when they were voting, before Labour Party came into government, when they were having a vote to talk about ceasefire and stuff like that, he said, remember SNP wanted to bring something forward. Yeah. He stood in Parliament and he said, I'm not voting that way because it's going to affect the next election.
Yeah.
People are fucking dying. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the next election. No, he's not a puppet. He is he wants
he's a puppet,
this.
but, yeah.
He's a paid puppet,
Yeah.
is what he is. He's been accepting it, but because there is now the real thing of you might actually go to jail for this, you're gonna have to go and talk to people in The Hague. You're gonna have to go up and
be held
explain,
accountable.
Be
Yeah.
held accountable. Now you want to talk some talk.
Basically, before the tide actually officially changes, like, they know there's always
Yeah.
that cusp
Moment.
when the world leaders now have to get on board and be like, actually, this is all really bad. But he didn't mention anything about all of their military strategy has come from the UK. You didn't say you're not giving them any more drones to go over Gaza and to say this is where you can bomb and all of that. So he needs that hard line, and then I'll be like, all right, the
He's doing
tide has
something.
properly changed. For me, this is lip service.
In his same
Strong
speech,
lip service, but
in his same speech, he went on to say, he ended his speech by saying, we still want to be extremely friendly with Israel.
Yeah.
We still,
Arse licking.
we still hold their, we still,
Don't shut the door
we
completely.
still, we still believe in their values that they formed in their independence. Do you forget how they became independent in the first place? It's called the Nakba, and there was the 77th anniversary of that on Saturday. Are you mad? You're not fooling no one, David Lammy. You're not fooling anybody. Yeah, you're
He
still
fooled
going
me,
to The
I'll
Hague.
be real. I'll be real.
But I mean, if you're not,
He did,
because if you don't follow all the way, that
Yeah.
speech, it was like, oh, I'm David and all that stuff, and he could be gearing to position
So
himself.
is
as
this
well.
like more like self-preservation sort of?
I feel so.
Yeah. He has
Self-preservation
to.
and actually nothing. There's no action here. They haven't stopped doing anything. They're just saying
Yeah.
we'll stop conversations for now about trade, but you're still selling weapons.
Yeah.
You're still, the RAF are still flying over and, like Nana said, telling them what to do and where to bomb. That's still happening. People are still dying every day.
Yeah.
Like there's 14,000 babies at
Yeah.
risk of starvation as we sit here.
And there's 500,000 people just generally not getting aid or resources
Yes,
at all.
yes.
And
They
they've
and
got
they
all
know
the, they've got
this.
all the aid trucks there.
The aid trucks
they're
are
there,
backed
they're
up.
just sitting there and they're not allowed
backed
to
up.
do anything.
So they sent in
Yeah.
5 trucks the other day. Do you
Yeah.
know that 2 of those trucks had shrouds? And what the shrouds are is when people die, it's what they put them in. 2 out of the 5 trucks had shrouds. Come on now.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
No, yeah. and the world's
Standing there giving
We
lip
will see.
service.
I mean, Pretty,
We'll see.
I can't stand Pretty Patel.
She's always in the bit.
It's the optics of it all,
Of the brown people.
of the brown people and the black people
disgusting.
going back and forth.
It's
When
like-
you're just like, oh my God, this...
It's like,
they're playing chess. Like
that?
they're just playing chess moves and they put in all of the coloured
Yeah.
folk
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be arguing amongst themselves. And it's like, literally,
Whilst
Israel wouldn't be what it is now if it wasn't for the British being like, you can have this
Absolutely.
land.
Yeah.
And it's always the British.
Always.
I mean, yeah, don't underestimate this little island. It's tentacles are long and strong.
Facts.
And I would love David Lammy to come on though. just to.
I don't know how
I would
he
love
sleeps at
David
night.
Lammy to come in.
I
come
would,
on.
'cause I would
So
like-
just
yeah.
get gunned a little bit.
Yeah, like
Maybe
come on, let's
maybe
challenge.
he needs to get gunned like properly.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
definitely.
like because in Parliament it's all very
I don't know if
the
he-
right,
I don't know if
the
he's-
right honourable man thinks that he's onto something, and we'd be like, "No, you're a pussy, oh." Get me? Like, that's kind of what he needs. But a real
Definitely invite you on, David.
Yeah.
And I think you should have a
Come and have
chat
a
with
seat.
the real people.
Yeah.